everyone, welcome back to Ask Nutritionist Deepa's quick, easy, flavorful recipe videos. And today the star of the show is fenugreek leaves, also called as methi. And I'm going to show you how to make creamy methi Muttor, which means a creamy sabji or a side dish using fenugreek and muttor, which means peas. And I'm going to add a little bit of spinach to it to bring it together. So this dish is going to be creamy because of the lentil flour that I'm going to use instead of the traditional cream or half and half, etc., that is commonly used in this recipe. Let's start by looking at the ingredients and their health benefits. I have 4 cups of chopped methi, half a cup of green peas, half cup of frozen spinach. If you have fresh, that's fine too. A tablespoon of peanuts, 1 teaspoon of coconut sugar, 2 tablespoons of lentil flour, and spices of your choice, red chili powder, mustard seeds, and turmeric that I'm going to use in making the tadka or the tempering. Now I call methi as a one of those vegetables which are, the leaves are small but the health benefits are humongous. Now you may have used methi seeds in the past in your cooking. So these are just the seeds that you can actually use to grow methi in the pot. Today we are not going to use dry methi. I'm just going to use these fresh methi leaves or fenugreek leaves. As you can see, the leaves are very tender, and I of course use a lot of stems. Just make sure they are tender. Now if you have a stem which is not so tender, then just throw it in your vegetable broth. Remember the vegetable broth recipe that you also liked it very much. I get emails that you guys are making the vegetable broth at home now. So let's look at the health benefits of methi. It is rich in calcium, iron, vitamin K, and polyphenols and other antioxidant molecules, and that is what makes it anti-diabetic, anti-hyperlipidemic, anti-obesity, anti-cancer, anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, antifungal, antibacterial, and it is a galactagogue, which means that it helps the production of breast milk. All this is good until people start to add any form of dairy such as yogurt or half and half or cream, and of course oil and ghee. But today we are not going to fall into that trap. We want to extract the maximum benefits out of this recipe. So that being said, I'm going to quickly wash this methi, combine it with some frozen spinach, and put it in the steamer. So I have chopped and washed methi and a block of frozen spinach. I don't usually thaw my spinach because there is no need to. And one ingredient that I forgot to add or mention in the recipe earlier is some ginger and garlic. A teaspoon of ginger and couple cloves of garlic. Of course, I have used my ginger garlic cubes, which are going to come in very handy when you are in a hurry. So I'm going to put a little bit of turmeric in there. So a little bit of turmeric, ginger garlic cubes, chopped fenugreek leaves, and a blob of frozen spinach is going to go in this steamer for, I would say, 10 minutes or so. You don't want to cook for too long. I'm not pressure cooking it, I'm just steaming it because again you don't want to overcook your greens and kill all the nutrients in them. When I come back, fenugreek leaves would be nicely cooked and steamed, and we will move on to the next step. So it's been almost 20 minutes or so that the fenugreek greens have been getting steamed along with the spinach. But while that's happening, I'm going to make the dry tadka or the tempering to get our spice mix going. And again, this is a dry tadka. Bring the pot to right temperature. We are not going to add too many spices in there. Actually, there are hardly any spices. The mustard is going to add a little bit of flavor. We have already added some turmeric in the greens while they are cooking, so I'm not going to add any. I will add little bit of chili powder. However, before I add that, I want to show you guys a technique make this vegetable a little more nutty in flavor. So we took 2 tablespoons of lentil flour, or you can also take chana dal flour, and I'm going to add half of that and roast it, and the other half is going to get mixed in with the cooked greens. Now just lightly roasting the chana dal flour or lentil flour is going to extract little more flavor out of it, and you don't even need to have the heat on. The roasting will take place in this quite hot pot here. I recently did a 1 hour long interview with Chef AJ talking about how to unleash the benefits of lentils for weight loss. So if you have not watched that episode on Chef AJ, make sure you do. We will put the link in the description as well. So make sure you watch that particular episode on lentils and its benefits in weight loss, as well as the health benefits and history of lentils. It was quite an interesting episode. Now the temperature of this pot has gone down a bit, so I'm going to add a little bit of chili powder. Now this particular chili powder is very spicy, so I'm not going to add a whole lot. And as you can see, I'm adding it to the surface of the pot so that just a little bit of that heat is what is going to extract the flavor. And like I said, the fenugreek leaves, or all green leaves in fact, are very high in folate and vitamin K, calcium. Of all the nutrients, greens are very high in calcium. People on whole food plant-based diet, they feel, oh, where are they going to get their calcium from, and for bone health. And the secret is the greens and beans for calcium. Now the fenugreek spinach mix is really creamy because of the lentil flour that we added in, and now I'm going to mix it in with the tempering that we did earlier. You're just going to gently blend it in. So texture of this particular sabji is a little bit on a thicker side. That's what how it is traditionally preferred. But remember, the creaminess and the thickness is coming from the chickpea flour, the lentil flour I mean, and the vegetable itself. I'm adding some peanuts in it just because I roasted some peanuts in the morning. You don't really need to add any, but I just thought it will add a nice little extra flavor and texture. And last but not the least are these green peas, which are going to go in there. Now these green peas are frozen, so they don't really need much extra cooking or even defrosting. So I'm going to just allow it to cook for another 1 minute. The steamed greens are out, and the spinach and the greens have blended quite well. Fenugreek is quite bitter in its taste. It has a very strong flavor. Adding spinach just cuts through that, and adding all these other ingredients, especially this lentil flour that I'm going to mix in there gently, is what is going to make this creamy without the addition of half and half and all kinds of things people add in there and really negate the benefits of eating natural food. The flavor of the food needs to come from all the flavoring agents that are naturally present in food and not by masking it with salt, sugar and fat. Once you start getting addicted to those three substances, it's almost similar to any addiction to any alcohol or smoking. Okay, we should be addicted to the natural taste of food, not the masked taste of food. Just to cut through a bit of a bitterness, I am adding some coconut sugar. You can completely skip this step if you want. Now you can see how that lentil flour or chana dal flour has brought this mix into little more cohesive format, and I'm just going to allow it to hang in here for a couple minutes and I'll be back. Now at this point you can taste it and adjust the flavor. I just added a little bit more of the coconut sugar because I felt it was a little bit on a bitter side, but you don't have to. I'm adding a little bit of dry tadka on top to add some more spiciness to it. But overall the texture of this vegetable is just creamy enough without all the extra fat. Now if you don't have fenugreek, you can pretty much replicate this recipe using any other greens. Creamy methi Muttor is done. I have just put some peanuts on top and I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of this dry tadka or dry tempering of mustard and chili powder just to make it look a little pretty and to add a little more spice to it. Again, this was done in less than 30 minutes with a little bit of planning. I hope you guys will enjoy it. Go ahead and try it, share and subscribe to the channel, and I thank you all for watching it today.